welcome to another Fight of the Night review. And yes, I know, it's Halloween. I'm a spooky, scary skeleton. I send shivers down your spine. So, we have a Fight of the Night to go over. It's the co-main event of UFC 267, the first non-pay-per-view numbered UFC event in the United States since UFC 138 in 2011. Thank you, Wikipedia. Well, technically it's not really in the United States because it was in the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, which is the United Arab Emirates, but there we go. Yeah, it was the co-main event between Petr and Cory Sandhagen for the interim Bantamweight Championship, and so yeah, gonna go through it round by round and tell you what I thought at the end, so let's just go. So the fight starts, and it's very much a feeling out process for a fair bit of it. Cory is definitely the first one to land, though. He lands some really good combos. He's doing what he can with his range because he's the taller fighter and he's got a bit of a longer range, so he's trying to poke Jan a little bit with his jabs, and it is working a lot. He's putting together really good combos. He's landing a lot to the body. Like, he's got a really good left hook to the body for the most part. Jan is backing away, trying to counter, trying to get more of a read on Sandhagen. It isn't working a lot for him. Jan does get some good body kicks in. He gets a really good leg kick in by the end of the round. And it's not like he's completely hopeless in round one. He is landing a good couple of counters. And, you know, he lands a really good spinning back fist and overhand hook combo. But he is mostly backing away from Sandhagen, and Sandhagen sees that he's landing that beautiful flying knee, which is one of his best weapons. We know that because he murdered Frank Jaeger with it once. And yeah, Sandhagen is going in with his combos, really landing quite well at a good clip. And I give round one to Cory, honestly. It was fairly close in some areas, but Cory was just running away with a lot of it. Really good hook combos. He did eat some really nasty body shots, though, and that was easy to read, like, by the end of the round as we get into round two, which I'll do in a bit. But yeah, round one, in favour of Cory by fair margin. Round two is when we get a bit closer, though. Petr is starting to read Cory a little bit better. Now he's had more of a chance to sort of feel him out. He's starting to land what he's good at, which is the boxing, and he does have Cory worried in a couple of situations, but Cory, again, landing some good counters of his own, starting to land some really good shots to the body, and he is making a bit of a mistake, though, because he'll often, like, switch stances to southpaw, and pretty much each time he does, he hits another nasty body kick, and Cory is a fairly pasty dude, and that's coming from me, and you could see the redness forming across his stomach, and it was kind of painful to look at, honestly. I felt bad for him. But yeah, round two, uber exciting, honestly. The first one was fairly technical. This one, a bit more of a brawl. Cory did go for a couple of takedowns. He went for a takedown in round one, didn't get it. Didn't really get any takedowns in round two either. Sorry, my hair's a bit of a mess there. And fairly close round. Petr, I keep saying Petr. Petr is landing his boxing a lot better. He's not backing away as much. And Cory's still moving well. He is a bit buckly on that leg that got clipped at the end of round one. But he is still moving fairly well and landing some really good combos of his own. And the body hook is there for him all day. He just needs to shoot a bit less for the takedown, I think, because I think that's what cost him round two. I do give round two to Jan, but it's the closest round of the entire fight, in my opinion. And it is a very good performance from both sides. But Jan, yeah, he definitely got the better of it. He was landing a bit better to the body. Starting to put his counters together, more his boxing combos, because he's really good at boxing. So yeah, round two in favour of Jan, although Cory did still have a good showing despite the pain he must have been going through in his ribs, because holy hell. On to round three now. Round three, yeah, pretty much sort of a similar story to round one at first, but Petr starts pulling away with it a lot more, especially early on in round three. He's putting his combos together a bit better as well. He's not going as openly for the switching body kick. He's going for more of a spinning approach, and I'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. Yeah, he's landing his combos a little bit better. Cory is still coming in quite well, but he's getting caught a bit easier. And his right eye, like the area under his right eye starts to swell a little bit, and he is eating some pretty bad shots, but he is still coming in, still trying to poke Petr, but he's coming in a bit too much, and because of him being a much taller fighter, that's not a good thing for him to do. Petr is just there with counters, really great boxing combos. And yeah, obviously the great moment where he landed a spinning back fist and then a massive left hook that knocks Cory down about 3 minutes into the third round. It was kind of amazing. Obviously not the only big moment in the fight or in the round. Like, Cory got up, you know, he managed to recover quite well. I don't I don't remember if there was a lot of a ground scramble after that, because Petr was starting to land some pretty vicious ground and pound, but Cory did manage to recover. He starts landing some of his combos again, but Petr is able to counter a bit more readily. And round 3, I give to Petr a bit more openly. Round 2 was a lot closer. Round 3 was fairly close, but Cory was starting to make a couple more mistakes, and he was leaving himself a little bit open, scratching my ear a little bit, and yeah, Petr just landing heavier, landing a bit better, and obviously got the massive knockdown. So yeah, round 3 goes to Petr. Then we get to round 4, and yeah, it's not even that close by this point. Like, Cory is, he's trying to stay light on his feet, but he was definitely rocked with what happened in round 3. He does sort of get a takedown in round 4, because I think this is the round where he gets a takedown. I could be wrong about that. I think Petr counters with a good ankle lock sort of thing, but Jan uses the ankle lock hold to sort of slip out and get away. But yeah, when they're on the feet, Petr is backing Cory away with some really great shots. He's not like, it's sort of an inverse of round 3, because Cory was backing away a fair bit. He was landing really good shots, but wasn't really winning it. In round 4, Cory did start well with some good pokes, but he sort of, I think the shooting for the takedown did a bit to stumble him, I guess you could say. And when they got to standing up, Jan was just clipping him with amazing combos, landing really great shots, good shots to the body. He landed some really good head kicks. He landed a lot of really good left head kicks throughout this entire fight up until this point as well. But he lands a super big one in the next round, which we'll talk about when we get to that. But yeah, Jan runs away with it in round 4. Absolutely outlanding Cory, outstriking him a lot more, and being a bit more aggressive as well, because I think that was sort of the thing that cost him round 1, in my opinion. He wasn't as super aggressive, but Jan is someone who gets better as the fight goes along, and round 4 is one of the first championship rounds, so yeah, he's following up some really good combos, outlanding Cory a lot, rocking him a little bit, landing some really good straight lefts. So yeah, I give round 4 definitely in favour of Jan, although Cory did hold his own quite well, and he managed to tough it out and survive, so still really good props to both sides. Then we get to round 5, and Cory definitely has a much better start in round 5. He's finding his feet a bit better, he's a bit more bouncy, a bit more light-footed, even though his legs and his body were probably hacked up to shit by Petr. And he does start landing as well. Obviously, Cory landed at least one sort of flying knee, that like right high flying knee with the pull-down clinch, at least once per round. I think he does get a takedown at some point in round 5. Jan is landing a little bit less in round 5, but when he does start putting it together, he really goes in. And yeah, he's opening up Cory a little bit more. He does start to cause a swelling under Cory's right eye. Like, that sort of started in round 3, but it got worse throughout round 4 and definitely throughout round 5. It was a bit of a tennis ball sort of situation, which is always one of the least favourite things for me. I don't like seeing that. It's always sort of, ugh, you know. But then again, that's a sport. That's part of it. I understand that. But yeah, round 5, again, in favour of Petr personally. He was landing a lot more, although Cory was starting to find his range a bit better, starting to poke Petr a little bit more, trying to stay out of Petr's range, because he knows when he gets close and Petr starts landing and blasting him, it ain't a good sight. And, but yeah, Petr opens up quite well. I think he gets a takedown at some point, but there isn't really a lot of ground exchanges throughout the entirety of the fight, so even bringing up the takedowns might seem pointless. Although I felt like I should anyway, because I'm trying to get as much of this fight as I can. But yes, Petr does land Cory quite significantly. He even gets a really big moment where he lands like a spinning back fist and a hook and a spinning back kick that rocks Cory. And like, there is a big scramble after that, like really good brawl. And even after the horn goes off, they are striking for a couple more seconds, but the ref gets between them. And they show some really good respect. And I have nothing but respect for this fight, so let's get to that. So, yeah. I really enjoyed this fight, honestly. I got no problems with the winner. Petr Jan won by unanimous decision, by the way, and I do fully agree with that. And it was absolutely as close as it could have been for a unanimous decision. I mean, 49-46 across all 3 cards. I think that's the right call. And Cory Sandhagen proved that he can go the distance. I mean, he did prove it against TJ Dillashaw in a fight that he should have won, apparently. I haven't seen that fight, but I hear good things about it. And yeah, Cory absolutely held his own against a former champion, let's not forget. Much like TJ Dillashaw was former Bantamweight Champion. But yeah, no No hate either way, these two showed a lot of respect, even though Petr did accidentally get a couple of eye pokes on Cory in round 1. And, you know, considering that Petr's last fight ended with him losing the Bantamweight Championship via DQ, wasn't the best look. But yeah, I absolutely recommend checking out this fight for yourself. It was very exciting, very well back and forth, and I do get the feeling that Cory will be a champion one day. I think he does have in him. You know, he's got the talent, he's got the finishing ability, you know, and I definitely think he can do it. He's got the ability to go the distance, and Petr is great anyway. I think that goes without saying. And I am looking forward to seeing his rematch with Aljamain Sterling, and hopefully it doesn't go the same way as the last match he had with Aljamain Sterling did. Bad memories. Again, I haven't seen the finish to that match, but I don't want to, because a title change via DQ is not one of the best things to happen. Anyway, that is it for this review. Again, check out this fight for yourself, it was really good. As for what's next, possibly an episode of Music of the Week tomorrow. I'm not going to be working on any backtracking for the next week, because I want to put out a top 10 video I've had in my mind for a while now, and I've got to finish writing a script for a game review that I want to get at some point, because I've been putting that off for way too long. The only guarantees I can give you are the Go Home show for Break Even 4, which I've set up, and that's going to be great, on Tuesday, and then Break Even 4 itself on Friday night. And spoiler alert, I will be going on an hour earlier than normal, so 8 PM my time, because I want to try and squeeze in a couple more hours of a Let's Play, because I'm trying to do Psychonauts. So yeah, that's what the plan is going to be, and I'll accidentally scratch my thumb off the edge of the table, and I'll see you all for that. And as always, thank you for watching, you're awesome, bye bye.